How much Charlie Sheen really made for every episode of 2.5 Men, Warner Brothers Television. Though the series may have been called 2.5 Men, its creators prioritized one of the core characters, Charlie Sheen, and emphasized his significant contributions. Indeed, Sheen became the most prominent figure on the show, with both he and his character, Charlie Harper, playing crucial roles in the series' success. In Netflix's documentary, aka Charlie Sheen, Jon Cryer, who played Charlie's struggling divorced brother Alan, recalled how, at the height of the series' popularity, Sheen made 3 times as much as him. As he explained, the dictator of North Korea was a guy named Kim Jong-il. He acted crazy all the time, and thus got enormous amounts of aid from countries who were so scared of him that they would shovel money at him. Well, that's what happened here. Sheen's negotiations went off the charts because his life was falling apart. Me, whose life was pretty good at that time, I got 1/3 of that. How much is 1/3 exactly? As news outlets reported at the time, Sheen managed to negotiate himself $1.9 million per episode in his 8th and final season on the show, while Cryer earned $620,000. With season 8 spanning 16 episodes, this meant Sheen was paid over $30 million that year. These numbers represent the absolute height of Sheen's earnings. Reports of his salary, https://wbc.com/news/entertainment-arts, from earlier in the series' run placed him around $1.2 million per episode, which is still high. Sheen's salary implied that the executives behind the show considered him to be irreplaceable, but that did not turn out to be the case. After his behind-the-scenes struggles became too disruptive for the series' production, Sheen was fired and his character died off-screen. https://film.com/1751260 Why Charlie Sheen Fired 2.5 Men. How'd the show kill him? Well, Charlie's longtime stalker Rose, Melanie Linsky, was implied to have shoved him into an oncoming train. Classic Rose. None of the surviving characters attempted to seek justice for Charlie's death either, as they all begrudgingly admitted he had it coming. The whole thing felt like the series giving Sheen one final middle finger before moving on. Okay. Fans generally agree that the Sheen era of the series was superior, but Kutcher's run performed well enough ratings-wise to keep the show going another 4 seasons. Charlie Sheen earned even more than the Friends cast. Warner Brothers Television. Sheen's salary on 2.5 Men feels like the dark version of the main cast salaries on Friends. https://www.film.com/friendscast reruns money. On the hit 1990s show, the 6 primary stars decided to negotiate as a team, demanding equal salaries for all of them. They started out making $22,500 per episode in season 1. But by season 9, they were each earning $1 million an episode. This was less than what Sheen was making, even adjusting for inflation, but it was more equal between the series leads. And because there were 6 main cast members, the Friends cast was technically asking a lot more from the network overall. It's worth noting, of course, that Friends was a bigger hit than 2.5 Men, never dropping below an average of 20 million viewers throughout its entire run. Friends has also turned out to have a cultural staying power. https://film.com/188221 Every streaming service wants next Friends, not possible. That 2.5 Men has never quite achieved. And the show is still going strong on Netflix and other platforms 7 years after it premiered. This is all to reiterate what Cryer himself has already known for some time. Charlie Sheen was overpaid. But while Cryer may not have loved making 1/3 of Sheen's salary despite doing an equal amount of the work, he still made it clear in his aka Charlie Sheen interview that he doesn't hate the guy. As he explained, I worked with Charlie Sheen for 8 years. And if you wonder what it's like to work with Charlie Sheen for 8 years, when I started I had hair. I had some trepidation about participating in this, partially because part of the cycle of Charlie Sheen's life has been that he messes up terribly, he hits rock bottom, and then he gets things going again. And he brings a lot of positivity in his life, and that's when he burns himself out again. he just can't help but set that house on fire. And I didn't want to be a part of that cycle.